You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
You guys want to dance? You want to dance?
So cute.
Oh, you got it down.
What was that?
You're a real rocker, aren't you?
It's a shovel.
Oh, okay.
Man. I see.
Said the blind man.
Well, look at what we got here. We got a full house today. We even got the couch filled up.
He's a joker.
Yes, he is. He's the joker of the deck.
Yeah.
Well, I want to welcome you to the SmackDown After Show. I'm your host, Ric Drasin, and I also want to say, I got it. Can you? There we go. We down that music a little bit. I want to give a shout out to my girl Ina, who's in Israel till next Sunday. I love you. I miss you. And I can't wait till you come back next Sunday so we can all go out and eat and have a great time, and I'll be able to spend time with you. So remember that. I'm thinking of you.
Yeah.
Now, also, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Angelina, Little Egypt.
Hi.
Who I have to say, and I said this off camera, she's doing a wonderful job here. She's got it all organized. She's bringing in guests. She's really fired up about it. She watches all the shows. She puts her 2 cents in, and I put my 3 cents in, and we have a nickel. but you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm just really glad that you're here.
Thank you.
I have to tell you that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And he said I had no heart. I'll let you introduce those guys, since.
Okay, well, the Ballard boys are here.
Yes,
Hi.
And we've got Shannon in timeout.
No, it's Shane.
Oh, shoot,
I thought, just when you said she was doing better. And
it's really hard.
It is Shane. Holy cow,
And
Shane.
if there's any ladies that want to violate my personal space right now, I am okay with that. I've got a nice big couch, and there's some pillows, and we could share this cup of water together. So.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
And so that's it. That's what we're going to cut and paste for your Match.com promo?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Match.com has anything to do with wrestling matches?
No, but it should.
Yeah,
I think they would
He's
do better.
actually so cheap, though. He wouldn't do match. He would do like Plenty of Fish because it's free. He would.
How
not
do you
pay
know
them.
that Plenty of Fish is free? Unless you've done it.
Well, no, I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, today we have a very special guest with
do.
us, and I'm sure I know you guys know him. Those of you who don't know him, he's Jesse Hernandez,
Yes.
former wrestling legend.
Yes, he is.
Okay, referee. Back to the days of the Mike LaBelle days, from the time of the Olympic Auditorium. For those of you who are really into wrestling, would appreciate that, as well as his work with the WWE, NWA. AWA, AWF.
And his own,
Just about everybody.
his own federation as well.
Yes,
Empire.
yes.
Yeah,
Now
Empire
that's right.
Wrestling Federation.
He's a promoter now, owner, of the Empire Wrestling Federation, as well as being the owner of the Jesse Hernandez School of Hard Knocks.
That is correct.
This guy has trained. I mean, it's just amazing.
I'm not real sure because he's a lot older than I am.
Yeah, you weren't around during the day.
Are you really?
Oh my gosh.
Jesse's been around, and we've been around since about the same time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has one of the best wrestling federations around. He runs consistently, runs good shows, has a great school, turns out good people. He's old school. He knows what he's doing. He knows wrestling like the back of his hand, and I trust his judgment. I'm glad he's here. So.
Yeah.
You know, Rick, I just got a compliment the other day on the phone.
Yes.
One of our fans that went to one of our shows in Azusa called me and said, "When's the next show?" It was great. It reminded me of the old Olympic Auditorium days.
Isn't that nice?
Now that, I'll tell you.
Yeah, all choked up, huh?
Oh, it did.
I can see that. I know. I believe
because
it.
that is what we do at Empire Wrestling Federation. We run a promotion that is, clean entertainment, fun for the whole family. Bring the kids, grandpa, and everybody.
I came out to your show.
Yes, you did.
And you had a full house. And you had a good show out there, a lot of good people.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see that. You've done the
And I
right
was
thing.
happy to see you there.
I was happy to be there, safe and sound on the freeway.
And if I'm not mistaken,
I didn't even get lost.
That's the longest running promotion in California, if I'm not mistaken.
Since 1996.
Yeah.
Wow. Me and my brother actually have a Jesse Hernandez story from way back in the day.
Oh, let's hear it.
Before we were ever even in wrestling. We were
16 years
a
old?
young 16-year-old group of misfits, and we ended up going to see California Championship Wrestling at the Olympic Auditorium. And we walked up there, and we actually were able to get second row tickets at the before the show started. We thought we were going to be way in the back, but for some reason they didn't. The place, it was half full, but it was still fun. Right. But Jesse came out as a friar, right? And he used to walk out with his candle, and he'd come in, he had the mask on. And
he had that when I walked in the lobby out here.
Yeah, I saw it. One of our friends, a guy named Big Steve, he's like 6'7", he was there, and he blew out his candle while he was walking by. So then Jesse got mad and threw the candle wax all over his leather jacket and ruined it. That was our first introduction to Jesse Hernandez as the friar.
That's a good one.
He was like, my jacket! And when he went home, he could not get that candle wax out of his jacket.
He shouldn't have been messing with my candle.
That's right. Brother. He just blew out your wick.
That's right.
You know, before we get started, we were talking in the lobby, and I thought it was really fascinating. Not only did you train Karma, well, she wrestled in the Indies as Awesome Kong, went on later to be in the WWE as Karma, but how did the story of how she came into your wrestling school is fascinating.
Yes, I was asked by one of the producers from some TV show that she was working on. It was a reality show from the Discovery Channel, I believe. And they asked me if I would give her 11 workouts and give her a match. And, of course, for the publicity, I did, you know.
You should have said, Jesse, I'm sorry, I can only do it in 12.
Yeah, 10. What's with 11?
Yeah, it's an odd number.
I think they wanted to get one more than 10.
I think it's because it's one-on-one.
Could be.
So anyway, so they brought her to me, and she loved it, man. And, you know, she loved the training, and I gave her first match against one of the guys, and she did very well. And she stayed on as a student. She just totally loved it, and that's why they brought her, because they knew that she liked wrestling. And so then, so she stayed on as a student. Then I got a call from the dojo, New Japan dojo. They were going to have tryouts for women wrestlers, and so they asked for her. I sent her, and they hired her. They sent her to Japan for some women's promotion out there.
That's unbelievable. That's great.
That was her beginning.
Yes, but it's a good feather in your cap, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A big one, too. Big feather. Big feather.
Oh, yeah, Indian Jesse.
I think he might have done that gimmick back in the 80s.
Oh. We call him Slow Pocahontas. All right. Shall we start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well.
Let's go. First match.
Yeah.
We didn't have Miz TV. We didn't have any promos. We got right into wrestling with Team Hell No and Kane versus Seth Rollins, right?
Yes, and it was from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Right.
This week, yeah.
Yeah.
Home of Wayne Gretzky.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say before we start, somebody here made a prediction that the tag team belts and a singles belt would go to the Shield very soon. Remember that? Now I'm 8 for 8.
That's right.
Remember that?
You did do that. That's right.
Now see if they could roll back that tape from I don't know 6 weeks ago.
It's on YouTube.
I got it. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, what'd you think of the match? I mean, this was Seth's opportunity to shine. Do you think he did?
I think Kane is so good. Like when he was working Kane's leg, he does things that most people don't do. He made Seth actually work to get his leg, and the way he moves around and was kicking him off. Most people just let people take their leg and beat him up and beat him up, but it's like he had to work for it. It gives it more realism.
Absolutely.
Kane is a really, really good worker.
Yes, he is.
Well, see, I was going to question that because I don't know the backstory on Kane, but I'm watching Seth and I'm thinking there are moments where Seth is predetermining the next move from Kane in just small little things like putting himself in position for Kane to grab him without it being real. And I thought, what's the backstory here? When I was wrestling, it just meant that one of the workers didn't know the next move because they had a short attention span or maybe partied too hard the next night.
Are we breaking kayfabe?
Yeah, we are.
Because all right,
Yeah,
if we are,
are,
then you always put yourself in a position for someone to do something. You give them 3 openings, and hopefully they'll take one of them. If they don't take them, then they don't know what they're doing. But you have to leave an opening, right?
Yeah, and I think with SmackDown and this crew, I mean, you're getting inside information of people that have been there and done it. So it's a little different. A lot of people think that maybe that we don't like the product or anything, but we're just giving a different point of view, which is entirely different than a fan's perspective.
That's so true, because a lot of you fans out there, I mean, we get different feedback, some good, some bad. But
Mostly bad.
Mostly bad. And the reason is that it's a new generation today, and everybody says, well, they want the new generation to talk, but the new generation doesn't have any backstory on wrestling. They don't know. They've never been there. I mean, Jesse and I have been around forever. You've been around forever. She's been around not forever because she's not old enough.
Right.
So I don't want to date her by saying that. But we do have history and we have knowledge, and this is something that today's generation doesn't have. They only know what they learned from 2010 on.
Right. And it's not like we don't like the product. I mean, if we didn't, we wouldn't watch it. We wouldn't be here. But when we give our perspective, it's not as a fan's point of view. It's as an insider's point of view. An insider's point of view. If you were in a war, your idea of war would be a lot different than somebody writing a book or a movie on war who's never been there.
When you're in the foxhole, it's a different story.
Yeah.
And if you want to know somebody's life, they used to say, walk in their shoes.
Exactly.
So you want to walk in our shoes, you'll know what it's like to be in the ring and do this. Most of the people that watch have never been in the ring, and they only know what they hear and see.
Yeah.
So we'll call it our boots to make it easier.
We can do boots.
Yeah, but if
with
it
him,
was
it's flip-flops.
If it was Jesse, though, you'd have to, instead of walking a mile, you'd have to walk 11 miles.
That's right.
Yeah.
10th one, or
And
12th
putting up
two.
flyers on my way.
But am I right, Jesse? It's like we're giving knowledge of stuff that we did years back, and then
That is true.
we want people to know what we see on TV or what we see in the match, if it worked or if it didn't work. Doesn't mean you don't like it. We just see it. We just see what it is.
We break the match down as an insider's perspective and give you the ins and outs. So nowadays, kayfabe is somewhat dead.
It's only alive in my family.
Right, right. I mean, we do try to keep it as alive as possible, but I mean, we are doing a show here, and we are telling you guys information, and we cannot. I mean, we can watch it as fans, but sometimes you just can't separate, doing and then watching it from.
I was a fan last week when we talked about that last 6-man tag match. That was a good match.
Oh my gosh!
And I sat there, kind of sat there like a fan because there was so much going on that was exciting and that kept my interest, along with my bowl of ice cream. So, but it was good, and I'll say it was good, and it was a good show. I mean, you have good shows and bad shows.
Yeah.
Just the way things work,
That's right.
Yeah. As far as the match goes, I thought it was, it was a good match. It was like. The story was he was trying to take out his leg and basically chop him down like chopping down a tree. And I really liked how they worked the buckle into it twice, where the first time Kane kicked Seth Rollins, he took a big bump and his head hit the buckle.
Yes.
And then the second time he kicked him into it, but he blocked it, like he didn't go into the buckle. And that's when actually Kane did his comeback.
Well,
right from there.
In the beginning, when the Shield came out, I was like, okay, what's this all about? I don't know these guys. I wasn't really familiar with them. But when I saw Seth Rollins in the ring this past time, the guy's good.
Yeah.
He brings a very different aspect to them.
He does.
He's going to be a big game changer down the road.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he really brings him to a new level.
Yeah. And, some guys might be a little shy working with Kane. He's got experience and don't know what you can take and what you can't do. We've all been there. You work with somebody with a name. You don't know what to do, if they're going to like it or not like it. It didn't seem to matter to him. He went for it.
Yeah. That's what you have to do sometimes, take matters into your own hands.
Well, I know your brother does every night.
Twice some nights. Well, one thing I did notice that Michael Cole mentioned that he was working Kane's right knee, which is incorrect. He was working Kane's left knee.
Ooh.
I don't know if anybody caught that.
Maybe he saw it reversed in the mirror.
That.
Yeah. Huh?
Maybe he saw it reversed in the mirror.
Maybe he did, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What'd you think, Jesse?
Well, have you noticed that wrestling's getting a little bit tougher now? I mean, they're with MMA and everything going on. I think Vince is really pushing the guys to work a little bit harder than before, and be more effective with their moves.
Yes.
Have you guys noticed that?
Yes.
I've noticed that in the last few months now, and I think that's good.
You think it's really Vince doing it?
Huh?
Triple H, maybe.
Triple H. Well, yeah, but
I know.
They're the same person.
But yes, but yeah,
hope not.
Triple H is really changing things around.
I think he is too. And he was trained by Kowalski.
Yes.
And he's the old school mentality, and he knows what works. And He's a good guy. I mean, he's really a good man. He knows what's he's pulling it together the way he should.
Right.
Yeah, he's working hard at it.
They actually stopped something that changed over, I think, the last 6 months or a year, is they stopped allowing them to really do damage to someone in a corner. Like, if you notice that the referees get in there right away and push them out while they're hitting them in the corner.
Yeah, and they protect
they're always protecting themselves.
their
Yeah.
face.
Big Show is always protecting himself.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't like to get hit.
I know. It seems that way because every match.
But it's very good. I mean, you always should have your hands up anyway. You wouldn't go into a battle or a fight with your arms down.
Right.
I mean, this isn't Rocky 2, Rocky 3, where Mr. T is hitting, their professional boxers and they've got their hands down.
Well, I don't know. When I see a high energy match like that, I'm thinking, wow, this is a lot to take on on that schedule. I mean, their bodies are breaking down.
Sure.
And it used to be you could drag out a match so that it would be less wear and tear. But now it's just, I mean, at what price are these guys paying to be in the WWE?
I think also, like, back in the day, like now the attention span, like every generation, it gets smaller.
Yes.
So same like with music, like, they used to have longer songs, and with leads, now they condense it, they take the leads out. Same thing with wrestling, like for the TV matches are a lot shorter because people's attention spans aren't as long as, before. I mean, they were accustomed, that's what they were accustomed to seeing, was longer matches.
Right.
Well, it's because of all the video games and all the toys out for kids now. They're all, you look at a family at dinner, they're always like doing all this stuff, They want to keep moving. You got to move fast, get through it. It's like
Jesse, he doesn't go anywhere without his laptop.
I noticed that. He's on Facebook right now.
He actually drives. He's got that up on the dash. And he's,
like the cops
Were
do.
you driving
Checking-
next to me?
I saw it. Yeah.
He's checking license plates. And stuff.
Well, the winner of that match was Kane via chokeslam. It was a very nice, well played out finish where. The referee was being distracted by Roman Reigns, and then Daniel Bryan pushed him off and he landed, then went right into the chokeslam. But very well played, well done finish.
And then went into Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan.
That was a little different. I like that. I like that like just right away they had the same people stay out there and they just went right into the next match. That was a little different. I give kudos to whoever wrote that or whoever put that together. That was well done.
It was well done. Both those guys are good.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of that match with Roman?
And Indian
Daniel.
Deathlock.
Yeah.
You've not seen that on TV and probably since the 90s.
Yeah.
Triple H used to do that a couple times in the 90s.
That's true.
But he went into it so smoothly. I mean, that's a very difficult move. Anybody that's ever given or taken that move, it actually is very painful.
Too, yeah.
And it's very difficult to get into in a quick motion like that.
Can you show us?
Yeah, sure. Somebody want to lay down?
Yeah, no, Daniel Bryan was very aggressive that match.
Yeah, he was.
He looked like he was supposed to be there. He didn't look like sometimes people get a little bit nervous working with someone they're really pushing. But he's
got a lot of confidence, and he always gives 100%.
Yeah,
always. But Roman Reigns, that guy's he's like the total package too.
Yeah, he's gonna be a star. He's got the look. I mean, like the ladies like him.
Yeah.
Some of the guys do. My brother does. He always
he wears his T-shirt.
Yeah, he does.
At some point, you think they'll change him to turn him the face?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna have
Seriously.
to. Once they break up the Shield and all that, he will turn face.
He'll be the new Rock.
Yeah, I think so.
He is good. Easy to look at.
Sweetie, you're married, right?
I am, but let me tell you,
Okay.
that's my favorite part of SmackDown.
It's okay if you look over the menu as long as you eat at home.
So true.
But I thought it was two good matches in a row.
Yes.
And they tied the stories together really nicely, where then all of a sudden Kane, who stayed out to support Daniel Bryan, who was out there for him, and I keep wanting to call him Tyler Black, but it's Seth Rollins stayed out to support Roman Reigns. And then when Roman Reigns made it to the rope when he was in the no lock, then he pushes Kane, and then Kane hits him, and the referee sees it. Very, very well played story.
It was.
And then I like the way Kane and Daniel Bryan watched on the big screen afterwards. So Kane was saying, "Look, this is why I did it," and then they showed them watching the screen.
It makes me think of something when Jesse was talking about Triple H and doing all the storylines. When you have a wrestler doing the booking and the matches, putting together the finishes, you get a good match. You get
Absolutely.
you get a storyline guy who's a Hollywood writer. It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. And, talking to some of the guys, they tell me the same thing. It's very hard for them to try to be something that they're not.
Right.
They don't feel comfortable. They don't move well. But when it comes from their heart, it's so much different.
It's true.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference in what you're watching.
Totally, yeah.
That's what draws you into it. You got to have a storyline that draws you into what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We had wrestling class on Saturday, and I was talking to Ryan, a couple of guys, about some of the old school stuff we'd seen, like Oxbaker with a heart punch. And he was saying, that won't work today. Well, why won't it? I mean, you're still telling a story about good versus evil, and it was played right to the current audience, and you get them to believe what you're doing. Why aren't they going to believe it?
Absolutely.
I would think they would.
The Rock, his finish is an elbow drop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why wouldn't a heart punch work?
Exactly.
If an elbow is a finish, a dropped hold now could be a finish if done well.
Yeah.
I mean, look at, what's his name? Scotty Too Hotty. His finish was what was it? A chop to the head?
Yeah.
Or to the throat. That was his finish. He did the worm and did the, that was the finish.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You're right.
absolutely. If you're done correctly, you can make anything a finisher.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
anything.
Just has to be played out right.
Before we leave this topic, please someone tell me where they think Daniel's going with the beard and what's eventually going to happen here. Is he going to put on a pair of overalls? Where are we going? I mean, he's absolutely crazed out with that beard. I can't
He's drinking
stop
a lot of goat's milk.
He's trying to get like one of the razor companies probably to sponsor him, and then he'll shave it off for like $1 billion. So.
Yeah, or he's been listening to ZZ Top lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your prediction. That's all we're going to get from you right now.
That's so straggly.
Damn.
It's so straggly looking.
Okay.
Once you grow something like that, it's hard to part with it. Put a lot of years into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think he may have a bird's nest in there somewhere.
There's a couple of eggs in there.
Yeah.
All right. How about Sando's balls?
I know how he does that because I do magic myself. I saw when he did it. I saw when he palmed it, but he did it very well.
Yeah.
He was very good.
That was good.
Props in for the Gretzky comment in
Yeah.
Edmonton, though. That was most people probably forgot about that, but the fans in Edmonton, I guarantee you, will never, ever, ever forget the moment that Wayne Gretzky went to LA for virtually nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really thought that was good heat.
Yeah.
So,
then
what about his balls?
Sheamus comes out,
Yeah.
does his little deal. What do you think about that? He wasn't working. He just cut a promo.
I'm gonna do a magic trick right now.
What are you
If
doing?
I can do it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's see. Whatever you do, make it end up in my pocket.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Can we see that?
No.
Oh, that's amazing. I could just barely see it, but that was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
How do you
Maybe
happen to
that's
have that magic trick on you?
Make it flow this way, bro.
That was impressive.
It was.
That's more impressive than the balls.
His balls are pretty impressive.
Okay, I did.
Okay, so move on.
For the people actually not watching, I made a $20 bill float from Jesse's wallet over to mine.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
To my pocket.
They never hear the zipper in my fanny pack there, brother.
A fanny pack. Jesse still has a fanny pack, by the way. Jesse, why don't you stand up and show us that fanny pack?
Don't go nowhere.
Oh, that's the cutest thing.
You know what it is? But Jesse,
That's old school.
this is still 1984. I still have mine at home. It's hanging in my kitchen with like $1 in it.
And you're wearing your Zubaz
But you know what? It's handy.
It is.
It works.
I don't know where to put so much stuff in.
Curtis Axel and Sin Cara.
Now, this is my question. I know why he has the Curtis Axel name, but that's Mr. Perfect's son,
Yes.
Joe Henning. Why don't they just call him Joe Henning?
Or Kurt Hennig.
Kurt Hennig Jr.
Somebody told me why. They used the name Curtis and Axel was something else to do with something. But I know he's been around as McGillicuddy. It's something else.
Right. Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Kurt was, his dad, and then his grandfather's name was the Axe. So that's where you get the Curtis Axel.
That's where we heard it.
Okay.
What's his name from last week said that? Joe.
Wow.
So what do you think of him in the ring?
I think he kind of moves like his dad a little bit. I think he's not polished yet. I think he still has a lot of work to do. But you could see glimpses of his father in him. So that right there is signs of hope. for the next generation of wrestling.
He's working with Sin Cara, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
So he was a good base for him. Because there's a lot of moves there. You got to be ready to go.
Right.
Plus, he didn't botch anything. Sin Cara
No.
didn't botch anything this time.
No, didn't
except
botch it.
for that he did that move so horribly. You could see that he was waiting when he did the back handspring, and then he clubbed him in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Like he went to the opposite side. Like he's just supposed to go backwards, but he aimed himself so that he could hit him in the back of the head. You know, that was the only complaint I have about that match was that he just totally threw himself out there. Didn't even look like he was trying to do a move to him.
What's the backstory on Sin Cara? I mean, does he just have a reputation of not
Well, no, he's
working?
lucha. Oh, no, I'll let Jesse answer this.
He is used to lucha. I had a lot to do with getting him into the WWE, as a matter of fact. It was my idea. They had me looking for Latino talent. And I mentioned his name.
You didn't call me.
But you're not Latino.
I am too. My name is Enrique.
Enrique. Oh, my God.
Why don't you bring back the medics of Mexico?
Hey, you could have dressed up as a medic.
You and Alex Knight.
No, as a matter of fact, they had me looking for Latino talent. And Mystico, great wrestler, but he's very good with the other Latinos, with the way they move and everything. Sure. He's not used to the American style, and it was my idea. They originally no, he's probably under contract with CMLL, and then. But I don't think Ty Bailey, who I was dealing with, really cared that much about it. But then he must have mentioned it to somebody, because the next day he called me, hey, get as much information on this guy as possible. And I did. And he was not under contract. But I think he originally wanted to use him as Mystico, but they couldn't because the name is owned by CMLL.
Oh, okay.
So, but they wanted him. Hunter wanted him, the guy. He wanted him bad. So they brought him in and gave him the name of Sin Cara.
He was supposed to be the next Rey Mysterio, but he hasn't really panned out in that aspect yet.
He's good, though.
He's good. But, he originally wanted to get me to bring in somebody else, one of his, I can't remember the guy's name, somebody that he'd wrestled with a lot, but you can't just, wrestle the same guys all the time.
No.
Yeah.
You got to get used to the Americans as well.
But explain to the fans out there, because a lot of them don't know, and some do know. There is a huge difference between lucha and American style.
Big difference.
Yeah.
It's like it's just like driving a right-hand driver or left-hand drive in a car.
In the old days, if you remember Ruben Juarez, those guys. They adapted to the American style.
Right.
Black Gorman, Goliath, they were from Mexico. They adapted well. Some of the young talent nowadays, they don't easily.
Yeah.
They're very hard, very, very difficult.
All right, then tell us or tell them the difference on the style. What is the main difference?
Well,
Psychology.
There's no psychology.
It's called mindless wrestling.
It's like Alex Kozlov, a kid that I trained as well, he wrestled Mexico AAA for AAA and CMLL, all those promotions, and he was up there for a number of years, and he got too comfortable with the lucha style that when they brought him into WWE for at their camp there, but I think he had lost the psychology. Because in Mexico they do whatever,
They do. There's no way. I've watched what is it, AAA, and I like to watch them because they have some cool moves. But I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
People keep running in and out of the ring. The fans, they brought a horse in, or a robot ran in.
It's funny. Someone's going up to the top rope about to do something, and then they pan, they show the crowd, and then they show back the ring. He's already done the move.
And somebody else ran in from somewhere. Then he left. He went on and got popcorn.
And you just hear someone blowing a horn.
The three Rudos are beating up the one Technico, and the other two Technicos are just sitting there watching. Hey, I'm glad that's not me.
And then they go in and take their beating too, one at a time.
One at a time. 1, 2, 3.
And then you can't tell the women from the men.
No.
They all look the same.
And the chances of 3 simultaneous pins happen, I mean, the odds of that are in the millions. But it happens every lucha match. Every 6-man lucha match, it happens.
You have a guy that you can't pin him for, no matter how hard you try, but as soon as his partner's been pinned,
within 1 minute. Within 1 minute, the whole thing is completed. So.
Yeah, that's hard to swallow.
You gotta love it.
That's funny. It's just how it is. And they work on the right.
Yeah.
And we work on the left.
Absolutely.
So for you guys that don't know that, there's 2 different sides, and it's easy to forget. And someone grabs your right arm and says, "Where do you go?" I'm used to going with the left because you're going to lead off a different way, and so it just gets confusing.
Yeah.
So it's It's like driving in England on the wrong side. Which way do I turn?
Right.
However, we know that two wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left. So in the wrestling, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay, done with that.
Yeah.
Del Rio
Yeah.
and
Alberto.
and Big E.
Alberto Del Rio is also he's like, to me, like a Kane, where he could just work with anybody and make that match interesting to watch. Big E, I just don't think he's. I think he's ready. I mean, I don't think he's like ready to be elevated yet, but I think he's ready to do matches. But he'll continue where he's at right now, more like as a bodyguard role. But Alberto Del Rio really made the match like exciting and watchable, where someone else may not have. So
I don't see any facial expressions on Big E.
no.
They're all the same.
Looks a little nervous at times. Like
Yeah.
he's still trying to get into his own.
Yeah.
He's got some giant leg. It looks like he's got trees,
my
walking on
God.
trees, the big oaks, right?
He
Yeah.
must have a hell of a ration between them.
So, what do you think about AJ and the way she's working herself as manager on
I don't.
that?
I pay no attention to that. I just like to.
Why?
I just like to look at her.
Oh, stop.
And
Stop,
the
stop,
dirty
stop.
things I would do to that young woman.
I have always, and I said this since day one when she was on there, and she actually commented to me on Facebook that I'd like her to show up at my house in a Girl Scout outfit and sell me cookies.
Yeah, I could see her like at like one of those car washes and like washing the car with her body and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd have my car washed there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't even have to be dirty. I'd have it washed.
I'd make it dirty.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
I mean, seriously. I mean, she's out there as a manager, and what did you think of her style? I mean, do you think she's believable?
I don't think
She makes
I
good
think she's out to
facials.
just get the guys excited.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
She like she. I like her better as a wrestler than a manager role, but she does play her manager role well.
Well, for me, okay, yeah, I think it's great that they're putting a petite diva out there to to see what happens as far as the viewers go. But one of the things that if she listens to the show or if she takes criticism, I think that she shouldn't try screaming when there's not a mic there. I mean, there's a mic, it's up, it's not picking it up, and it just comes across really scratchy.
Yeah.
And I think she can be just as effective with facial expressions, like when she's, when she's trying to establish what she's doing, she could do it with just, right here and get the point across, because I think when she goes that high octave, it's just, she loses all power and
but
just kind of squealy.
I have to tell you something. Your cell phone does the same thing.
What do you mean?
When you call me, it's really high pitched. It's really.
Oh, when I talk to you?
Yeah.
On the cell phone? How do I fix that?
I don't know. You better put some more bass into
Call
it. though. It's like,
AT&T.
give me a headache.
God. Maybe I just need to talk to you like this from here.
I thought I had an earwig or something.
Oh my God! Well, I'm not on television. WWE.
It's just gotta, your volume on your headset's like really loud and piercing.
It's
real
true.
high.
It's true. I do that all the time. But anyway, that's
Okay.
my take on
Anyway,
AJ. And
yeah, she's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I did notice that, see, I thought it might have just been the first match, but one of the patterns that they seem to be doing now is that right away when they go for the first kick out, the wrestler will always kick out at 1. Like
Yeah.
they're starting to make it so that it's transcending, so it's 1, 1.5, 2. Like it's starting to go, which is good because
That's how it
before,
should be.
yeah, they used to do a hip toss and it was 2, and they'd kick out at everything at 2,
Right.
which leaves the realm of believability out because
Right.
it's like you're building, you're getting tired. So then when they get that 2 3/4, people will believe it. But if every kick out is 2 3/4, they're not going to believe it anymore. So
right.
they're starting to build which each cover, which I think is good. Is what
Awesome.
it should be.
Well, the other thing they do, and I've seen this a lot, when someone's covering somebody in the count of 2 and they're going to kick out on 2, the one covering backs off right away before they even count.
Yeah.
I think they know we're going to go up at 2.
It's true.
What?
Check. There we go. All right, guys. We got to talk to you guys about something amazing. Speaking of kickouts,
Yeah.
I got something you can get a kick out of.
Okay.
Is we have this great movie, Serial Buddies, coming out.
Yes.
It's actually out now for digital download, not for DVDs yet, but you can download it right off iTunes. We've been working on this thing for years, getting it perfect for you guys, and it's one of the best comedies you'll see this year. Like, seriously, we got Christopher Lloyd, we got Artie Lang, we got Beth Bears, we got Kathy Lee Griffin being a little bit, funny. It's one of the great. It's a great movie that we've put a lot of effort into. All of us here at AfterBuzz have put into it. Tamara Berg did wardrobe for it. John Comerford plays 2 roles in it. You'll even see Phil Svitek getting his comeuppance, if you know what that means. You'll see a lot of familiar faces in it. We spend hours and hours and hours every day, every week, just trying to put out free content for everyone. And we don't do commercials. We don't do any of that crap. We don't bombard you with ads and everything. All we ask in return is just to support us by going to iTunes and downloading and rating and commenting the shows like SmackDown, because you guys are great. Everyone needs to rate and comment that. But we also need you to go to iTunes and look up Serial Buddies, download Serial Buddies, because if you want to support us, this is the best way to do it, because we put so much work into it, and we just want people to see it. So it means so much to us when you go there, you see this movie, you like this movie, and then you call into SmackDown, tell them how much you like this movie more than them. I'm just kidding, you guys.
Well, that's a given. That's a given.
That will happen.
But yeah, so if you don't see the movie, we're gonna pull a right back and send you to a medical facility.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
no.
So you guys got to be careful.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
everybody should see this movie.
I know it's so funny. It'll have you white like Sheamus.
Watch it twice.
Anyway, yeah, exactly, guys. Enjoy the show.
Okay, one thing, Steve. I gotta say one thing.
What?
I love the way you come in with the entry music, just then,
Yeah.
and you kind of like sort of. I thought you were gonna give me a lap dance.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm just kind of like.
Wait a second, I'm on the couch.
We got a Tae Bo class going on in SmackDown, all right?
Exactly.
I'm on the couch. Shouldn't I get the lap dance?
Yeah, you get.
You
the-
should.
We can trade places if you really want. It's cool. I know you're more experienced with that.
That's great. Serial Buddy sounds really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it. Actually, I've already downloaded it, and
you?
I'm going to watch it later this week.
Oh, good.
So I'm excited.
You
So
can call
next
me and
time
tell
I
me,
come
but
back.
put more bass in your volume.
For that match, Alberto Del Rio versus Big E Langston, I thought it was a good match. I thought the finishing sequence kind of fell flat
Yeah.
because had they gone into the finish quicker, I thought it would have, had a better effect. It would have, but they did so much after the. He threw his head into the pole and then he rolled him back in. It's like it felt flat to me.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I didn't, truthfully, I did
watch
not
it?
see the match.
Oh.
I did not see it.
Oh, that's when he.
Well, then let us tell
He
you
was
about
on the
it.
Get some
computer,
popcorn.
that's why.
But on that, before we change topic on that one, I loved his manager and I loved the entrance music and I loved the way he walked into the ring and it just that energy.
Are you talking about Big E Langston?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Alberto.
Oh yeah, he's always good.
Yeah.
He had like 2 DOS introductions.
Oh, I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved it.
And
Awesome.
And Big E's natural
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on creatine and
Yeah.
Tiger Smoke bars.
and red meat.
Right.
Well, one thing I did know is Big E did really well is after the match, the ref went to lift his left arm and he pushed him away and made him lift his right arm since Del Rio was doing the move on his left arm.
Yeah, and then he had, it was babying it.
Yeah, he made him lift his right arm, which I thought was good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good
He was
psychology.
actually still selling the
Right.
He
move
was.
that he took from Del Rio, which I thought was good.
Yeah, I like that.
Because earlier on, Reigns no-sold the no-lock after the match. He's like, no problem. He was walking around. He had it on for longer, and I thought it was good that Big E actually sold it still after.
Good. That's a good call right there.
I do have to say that Alberto Del Rio.
Wait, how? Say what? You say it again.
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh my God.
He is
Del Rio.
Del Rio.
He does it so
You know,
well.
he is one of the few that has adapted to the.
You're
to the
Hispanic?
See,
Simone.
he has adapted very well. I think he struggled at the beginning while he was at their camp.
Yeah.
And then he just got comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and the promos, my gosh, man, he's incredible, man. He is incredible.
He is.
Good to
Yes.
hear.
I enjoy him.
What's going on over
see
there?
more.
Stop that, would you please?
Oh, sorry.
You're interrupting something here.
But yeah, good match. Just finishing sequence was just a little flat. But
Yeah.
all in all, good match.
Okay, the next match was kind of interesting.
Ryback versus Kofi.
Yeah,
Yes.
entering in an ambulance, which I thought was funny. 'Cause
Yeah.
I guess it was a knock on all the previous weeks, which I
Right.
did not see, unfortunately. But
No, but it's I like Kofi. I think he's really good.
A lot of offense by him at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yes, in the beginning he was like really there.
They told the story like speed versus strength. Like he was just so
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
He was like hit, move, until Ryback actually got his hands on him, and then it was all over.
Ryback's come a long, long way in a short period of time, and he's getting better and better and better. He did a couple of moves in the ring and tripped him. Did a couple of things I wouldn't have thought he would come up with on his own. They were
he probably
pretty-
didn't.
Well, they were smart.
Yeah,
they were good moves. He's definitely got the look. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Monster, like. Yeah.
Imagine him back in the day.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He'd be a champion.
For sure.
Yeah.
How would he fare against Mr. Mexico, though?
Remember Mr. Mexico?
I remember
My
Sammy
God.
Delgado, Mr. Mexico.
Yes, he the chop man, I call
What
him.
about Steve Strong?
Steve Strong, wow,
yeah.
man. Oof. I haven't seen Steve in quite a while, but yeah, he was a tremendous wrestler.
What is that guy? He passed away, but he talked like this. He was Ripper Savage.
Oh, Ripper.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know,
you just
I
broke
didn't know.
Jesse's
Oh, you
heart.
broke my heart. I believe I had heard that he had passed on. But,
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's been like 10 years.
It's been a while.
has been.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years at least.
All
He
right.
was my manager for a while.
Yes, yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah, good guy.
Very good guy.
Yes.
Not the best wrestler.
No, that's why they made him a manager.
Right. But he had this similar, like, for CCW, he was a Ryback of the CCW.
Right, exactly.
And then, like, now Ryback is a Ryback of WWE.
He wasn't as big, but I mean, he was probably maybe 220, 225 maybe. He wasn't very tall.
Right.
But he was real muscular.
Yeah.
Violent? Did you think the match was violent?
Well,
Is it just me, or was that violent?
They're gearing towards the match that they're having. Who's he wrestling in? Coming
It's
up,
Cena. No,
Cena. Yeah.
yeah.
They're having like the 3 stages match. So that's what they're basically building up for. So unfortunately, Kofi, who's very talented, was just he was an example used.
Yeah, for the tables match part, he put him through the table 3 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I thought was odd is that the referees weren't even there to try to stop him or even talk him out of it. You know, he just was gone. You didn't even see the referee until after the 3rd one. Then he ran in to help him. You know. But I really thought that the referee should he should have like shoved the referee or like gave him a grimace or something to scare the referee out of the ring. But
Yeah,
it's
because
like
the match was
referee-
over. He didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about getting disqualified.
Yeah, the referee just bailed. You know, for
It
no
was
reason.
Kofi and Jericho must be on the same chess program because they're completely on fire.
I know they have that like
Yeah. We better move on because you know what? She has another show at 5.
Yeah,
and
we've
it's
got 2 matches to go.
Okay, so let's go on.
Okay, we had the Jericho interview that led right into Jericho versus Cody Rhodes.
Right.
One thing I did like in that match that made the referee an actual referee and not just some clown in there is that he didn't count because Cody Rhodes' foot was under the ropes, which I thought was really good because most referees would have just counted anyway.
Right.
But he was like, no, your foot's on the rope. So Cody Rhodes had to move around and pin him where his foot wasn't under the rope anymore.
Of course.
That gives the referee some authority, in my eyes. So it makes it like they're giving the referees a little more authority rather than just having them, get bullied by these wrestlers. I think that.
Well, they're supposed to have authority in the ring. That's what they're there for. But they're always the first ones to get knocked out.
Yeah.
With a shoulder block.
Respect my authority.
Jericho went over big, right? That was no surprise.
He's always good.
Cody.
They're both good.
Yeah.
There was a few botches in the match that you could tell they recovered really well. But the reason why is because Jericho likes to call a lot of things in the ring. Almost the entire match he likes to call in the ring. So you could see there's parts where they're going slow because Cody Rhodes was trying to, pretty much accept everything he's telling him. Like, when he would reverse him, it would be really slow because you could see, like, on one of them, he must have called a double axe handle because Cody Rhodes went up like he was going to double axe handle him when he came out the top rope. So it was almost like they hit hands when he bumped on that one. So there's a couple things, and that's just, I think, the positioning and everything due to him calling everything in the ring.
Yeah, I think Cody's a little more used to calling it in the back.
So I think it just kind of threw him off a bit.
Yeah, that's why I had notes that match was good, but it could have been better. The chemistry wasn't there for that match, I thought.
Yeah. But they're both good wrestlers. I mean, they know
very
their
good.
stuff, what they're doing. All right, now we have Orton and Ambrose.
Oh, but before that,
what?
The Wyatt family promo, I kind of like that. They have that little like family, kind of like the little knockoff on Deliverance, where it's like a backwoods like family and they're coming to WWE. I like vignettes. I like when people get introduced through vignettes because you kind of like when they get there. I mean, you already know who they are and you kind of know a little bit about them.
Mm-hmm. It's a great strategy to build character quickly. I love that concept.
So they're building that family off of like the backwoods, like kind of like the Rob Zombie's ruining of the Halloween franchise. Backwoods family.
He's kind of like leads them, and they're all like kind of almost brainwashed by him, just the way he has his followers.
Yeah.
It's just, I think they could do a lot with that. We'll have to see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. But then we're at the main event. Randy Orton.
Yes.
Versus Dean Ambrose. Randy Orton looks great, by the way.
He does look great.
You know, looks like he hasn't been tested, and maybe the.
Yep, and you know what though? I noticed in this whole match with Ambrose, he was actually enthused about doing it.
Yeah, he looked a little more.
Yeah, a little more enthused about it than his
Maybe because
past
he was
matches.
in the main event finally, and
Right.
then he thought, hey, okay, I better put some effort into this.
Either that or
he's working with somebody new who's going to work with
right.
him.
He's tired of working with the Big Show and Mark Henry probably.
Yeah, you get tired of it. So
Yeah.
it's just what happens. You get some new blood to work with in a different style, and your enthusiasm gets up, and you have a good match. Right,
Yeah.
Jesse?
I totally agree with that.
There is something. I mean, and those two are professionals. I mean, especially Randy Orton is like third generation. So for someone like me to say something like this about them, I mean, this is purely my opinion. But I'm sure people in the wrestling industry, maybe Jesse and Rick would probably agree with me. You might too, maybe.
Try me.
Is Randy Orton gave Dean Ambrose 3 punches, right? Punch, 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 and whipped him off the ropes, and Dean Ambrose reversed him.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, it makes your punches look so weak. We were at a place I heard Ricky Steamboat telling somebody that one time, where it's like if you punch somebody, more than once and they reverse you, or it's like it makes your punches don't
Totally
mean
agree.
anything. So I saw that and I was just like, I mean, most people won't think about that, but that's just something that I was brought up on knowing, and I thought, for someone like Randy Orton who's been doing it for as long as he has, I mean, he should have probably known better. But like I said, who am I to tell him
I
that?
see that a lot, and I also see headbutts thrown away.
Yeah.
A lot of headbutts don't mean anything.
Well, they don't sell the head. Even the person giving the headbutt should sell, but they don't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
What do you think about chops?
Chops, I think, are good, but I think that they sometimes overdo it. Maybe.
That's right.
Yeah,
They
overused.
overdo it.
Actually, he
Overused.
was talking about that Asian restaurant that's in the valley.
Oh,
It's called Chop.
It's called lamb chop.
That's
Pork
what he's
chop.
talking about.
Years ago, chops were used mainly by the Japanese to
Absolutely.
the throat, and then you do the Alka-Seltzer thing in the mouth where you're like really
Right,
gagging.
exactly.
And I was just talking to some guys yesterday about this, and today the chop is like a slap on the chest,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean anything.
Everybody chops. Now, before, when Ric Flair was in WWE, the only one that was actually allowed to chop besides Ric Flair was Shawn Michaels. They actually put out, like, a release. Nobody, when Ric Flair is on the card, nobody is allowed to throw chops.
Right.
Because
That's
that was
not a bad
his
idea.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so did you think it took too long for the Shield to get into the ring to help their bud? I mean, I thought it went way too long. I thought if they're really going to pull off this, we got your back concept. I mean, you had Seth and Roman right there side by side. What took the Shield so long to get there to back up their buddy?
That's a good question.
Because they had time to fill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take it.
They had so many minutes to go.
I don't know.
The
I
referee
just
probably said 10 minutes, and they're like, 10 minutes?
Because when you're doing TV and not a house match, and he'll tell you, and they'll tell you, you have to a certain amount of time before commercial. And if you're short 4 minutes, they don't do it that time, it's dead. Cost them money. And so they give you, the referee will tell you, you've got 3 minutes to go,
Right.
and so you've got to stretch out that 3 minutes before someone happens. Otherwise, you've screwed up all their commercial spots
Right.
for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they fire you.
Wow. Anyway, I
Show
thought if the
faces
Shield
to
would
it.
have gotten out there earlier, I think it would have been more exciting.
Yeah.
They really do work they work the ring really,
They really
well.
do. They really do.
Yeah, they're like sharks circling and when they smell
Yeah.
blood,
Yeah.
which is good. I did like Daniel Bryan came and just cleaned house, and he was really on fire. And
What did he get?
he got his, tell him.
He got his comeuppance.
Yeah. And he
Not the weak link. And
yeah,
he proved
No.
it.
the whole show, the whole story was built around Daniel Bryan not being the weak link,
Right.
and then he proved it at the end. But he really, I mean, all the moves and the energy that he put forth doing it was really well done, and just shows you, like, he deserves to be there. He deserves to be on top.
And you'll see, but by the end, when he did the dive, everybody was chanting, yes, 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 because now he's starting to become a top player.
Yes, he is.
The crowd's getting so into him
Yes.
that they're going to elevate him
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
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 See, right?
Simone.
See.
See.
We have to close out 1 minute.
Yeah.
She's got to show at 5.
Okay.
Okay?
All a real man needs is a minute, right?
Yeah. That's what they call them, Minutemen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
talking to close show.
how'd you rate the show this week?
I would say it was like a 6.5. So I'd say a 7 for that ending. I'd say it was a 7.
How about you?
Oh man, last week I was so impressed. I gave it like a 9.5.
She did.
I did. I was so excited. That was such a great show. I thought it kind of fell flat. I'm gonna go 8.
How about you, Jesse?
Quite honestly, I can see it.
11.
Let's throw a number.
11 from Jesse.
We'll give it a big 9.
All right.
Aw,
And you?
6.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
6.5.
I'll give it 7 too. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I like that there were more matches. There wasn't a lot of soap opera type things going on. It was wrestling.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
From the start.
Right.
Or from when they say the get-go.
The get-go. Yeah.
All right, so where can we find you, Little Egypt? Because you have something coming up like momentarily.
Oh, well, okay. I have another show on AfterBuzz TV. It's going to be Steve Austin's Redneck Island.
Yes, sir, you do.
So I am so excited about that. Will you stop it? This is, we're pros here. Okay, and then you can also follow me on Twitter at Little Egypt or Facebook. You can find me at Little Egypt, Glow Little Egypt. But Jesse, more importantly, you. Where can people find you?
In San Bernardino.
Well, you can go to my webpage, EmpireWrestlingFederation.com, or Facebook, Empire Wrestling Federation.
Right.
And Twitter, EWF Jesse.
Okay, and you got all your shows scheduled from when they're coming up. And I urge everybody to go there, look up Jesse, look up his school, look up his shows, because he's #1.
Yeah.
Top #1.
We're lucky to have you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you for
are.
coming.
Thank you so much.
This is a reunion for us, you know.
Yeah, it is.
We had an affair many years ago. And Mr. Ballard, you and your sister?
Well, actually, we're going to do a charity event. It's for my buddy Steve. It's for a new leather jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Jesse ruined. No, actually, on Saturday, we will be in a Tuscadero for Vendetta Pro, which is a really fun place for us because there's an after party afterwards.
Yeah.
And then I think, isn't there some sort of a
Car wash?
There's a car wash wrestling show. I think it's Sunday, so I'll have to get with you on if we will be here Sunday. It's at a strip club, and it's a they're doing a car wash and a wrestling show.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't miss anymore.
I think we should do the show live on location.
No, I don't. Where is it?
That's in Bakersfield.
No, thank you. I left there in 1969. I'm not going
You
back.
probably know where the strip club is too.
Enjoy yourself.
But it's at 1, so I will keep you posted. I'll find out what more details. So
Okay. You know where you can find me?
on RicDrasin.com.
And where else?
On
RicksCorner.com?
RicksCorner.com,
That's
and
right.
also at Anabolic Outlaws.
That's right. They're my sponsor,
Yeah.
Actor Z, and Twitter at Ric Drasin.
Yeah,
You
I'm
find
good.
Go to the gym, too.
I also have a new product out. I did a coaching audio. You can download on your phone from paceboss.com for runners, and they'll talk you through your whole running experience with me sitting on your shoulder, talking you through it and your workout. So that's it for SmackDown. Thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much.
We enjoyed it very much.
Thank you so much.
We'll all get together at the strip club afterwards.
Yes.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.